This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Can't change, the past. You can't take things back. We all probably wish we could, but we had to go through those and learn those things on our own. And time that God wants us to learn them. 3rd of April, 2021. My name is Corey Winfield.
Marnie Winfield.
Welcome to the 217 Recovery Podcast. Appreciate you listening. I was just thinking, and I gave you a look apparently after I was thinking. And you were like, you started laughing. You're like, what's that look for? It was so serious. But no, I was thinking that sometimes the open of the show kind of flows right into what we're talking about, or maybe gets us to talking about something. And changing the past is something that we can't do yet. I'm going to build that time machine, damn it. I am one day. And I'm going to build it and I'm going to destroy it. Just to say I can.
I bet you would.
After I get my boat. But for real, that is such a key thing for a lot of people with the problem of addiction and substance use and acceptance. This is the only thing that I have been able to do to change the way I think about the past. Just accept that. Yep, that happened. I'm not proud or whatever, and some things I am proud of. And you got to keep those memories alive as well. So as much as you beat yourself up, there's some good moments that you had in life that pat yourself on the back for those, and know that you're not a 100% bad person just because of what you did in the past, and you shouldn't have to turn to substances to escape or to not think about it, to not feel.
Yeah, and that's so common. I mean, and obviously for myself included, is that it hurts to think about the fact that you didn't have it all together, and that where you had let your life get to, at least for me. And it was just that continuing of covering up my feelings and not dealing with all the stuff that I needed to deal with. And there's a lot of stuff in all of our past that we wish, I don't want to say wish we could undo, but wish we didn't have to go through it. But like you say all the time, is our experiences, good and bad, have made us who we are today, and have given us strength. I keep thinking about how my mom would always say, God dealt you a hard hand, because you play the cards you're dealt, blah blah blah. But having substance abuse disorder is difficult, and genetics could play a part of it. Environmental factors play a part of it. So, and these are all kinds of things that come together, but it's about who you are today and knowing that I survived everything that I've been through. And I am, in a kind of a screwed up way, I'm grateful, even for the bad crap that I went through, and I wouldn't give up where I'm at today for anything.
I had a 4-hour conversation with this woman yesterday, and it was like the fourth 4-hour conversation I've had with her. And her story is crazy all over the place. Like, some people look at her and go, oh my God, look at her. She's never going to make it in life at all. And I look at it like, oh my God, you can help a lot of people. If you can pull yourself out of this, and she's had a hard time, if she can pull herself out of this and make it through and go to the other side, the good side we're on, the good side of life, her story is incredible. And she was like, I want to write a book. Okay, do it. Like, nobody's saying that you can't. Well, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are like, oh, she ain't going to write no book. She's just stupid. She just made bad choices. No, you can do whatever the hell you want as long as you're sober. Don't let anybody tell you can't. You can do whatever you want.
So true.
Just be sober. But no, seriously, I was thinking about some of the stuff, and it's like, wow, you know, like she's been through so much, and it's from early age on, you know, like Hollywood might want to make a picture of it, you know, like a movie. And I said picture.
You did say
like,
picture.
Like an old timer.
I know. Reels and everything.
Yeah. And they're going to put sound to it.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's going to be a fancy picture.
Picture show.
But I could see her story getting made into a movie just from the little parts that she's told me. And it's just like, wow. And I told her, you know, that first, just stop doing drugs. You know, of course, it's not that easy, but figure out what's wrong. You know, what's going on, what you're running from, and feel it. You know, accept it, and know that your future doesn't have to be this way. This person that you are today, that society and that people are telling you that you are, is not who you have to be in 10 minutes from now. Mm-hmm. You know, in 5 seconds from now, you can decide. You can make your mind up to not be that person anymore. Be the person you want to. And I told her, I was like, you know, picture yourself, you know, fine ass husband, you know, big ass house, you know. She's like, I want to move to California one day. You know, there you go. You know, like pool boy, big ass house. No, but picture it in your mind and go for it. Dream big. Mm-hmm. Ask God. You know, don't just say, God, please. No, say, God, give it to me. I had a conversation with God yesterday. I was like, give it to me. I'm not asking please no more. Mm-hmm. I kind of said it like that.
No, goals are huge, and we talk about goals a lot, and I think they're important. And if you start out even just with, you know, we say dream big, and of course, absolutely, you know, and you can accomplish whatever you want. But it's always good, too, to include those short-term goals, you know, that are definitely doable, mm-hmm. and gets you that much further into, like, see, if I'm going to do something, I say I'm going to do something, I can do it. And I did it. Mm-hmm. And that gives you that confidence to keep going, you know. And after a while, because you're clean and sober and making the right decisions, all these things start playing out in your life that you never even imagine, you know, and not necessarily, you know, not all in one order, particular order, or one before another. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, then things I guarantee you will get better from what they were. That's just how it's going to, it has to go that way.
Promises.
Yep. Promises come true.
But don't let anybody throw you off your square. It's your dream. It's your plans, you know. Not everybody has to understand them. You're going to have haters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I still have haters. I had haters big time, you know, when we started the podcast, and then, you know, moving on to the other parts of our company that, you know, we help people in recovery, and a lot of that is transportation. So we do a lot of that. Still haters, doors slamming in my face. Not the same kind of haters as the podcast, but just, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're too new, or what? You know, but the few people that I have met along the way that I actually met because of the podcast, it just kind of opened up more doors that I didn't even know were opening at the time, you know? Mm-hmm. And just because they thought I was pretty cool and they liked what I was doing, when they thought, oh, you're doing transportation. Oh, well, heck, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. Aren't you a recovery ambassador and 2-time recovery coach, trainee? Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Well, and the other thing too is, I mean, this was one of your dreams to do this, and you made it happen. And
I don't know if it was a dream, but
it was an idea that you wanted to put into action, and you did.
Mm-hmm. It's like coming up with a kick-ass ice cream flavor, and you're like, how come nobody has this ice cream flavor? And the people are like, oh, I don't know. You're like, and you ask everybody, and they're like, I don't know, that sounds like a good idea. And you're like, well, then how come no one's making it? And you go to the ice cream company, and you're like, how come you don't make this? Because we already have one with that other. It's some similar, I don't know. It's knockoff, but it's cheaper. And you're like, F that. I'm going to go make it. Mm-hmm. Same thing.
Yeah.
Because there's an obvious hole. And I was like, how come nobody's doing anything about this? It's because... Mm-hmm. Well, F it. I'll do it then. Never mind. Move upside. Let the man go through. I'll take care of this, thanks.
Right?
But that's how you got to do it sometimes. You just got to. But I could have sat back and just been like, oh, it's too hard. But I didn't. And like I said, door's still slamming in my face, but I just do what I can. Mm-hmm. I'm not letting that stop me. And I think a lot of people do see that and they're just like, wow, like he's really going for it, and we thought he was playing around with that podcast. Which I still kind of am. But yeah, it's fun. Guess what else I'm going to do?
What?
Because I told Jesus when I was telling him about the other stuff to give to me, I told him, I was like, I want to be on Survivor.
You want to be on Survivor?
No, I'm going to be on Survivor.
Oh, you are?
Yes. So I just need to make a video to send to them.
Okay.
Which I already know what I'm going to do. It's going to be pretty awesome. And it's not Survivor's fault. If you think about it, the last few seasons sucked because, they don't have a lot to pick from.
Don't they? Are they like casting for 5 years from now?
I don't know.
Is that how that works?
Who knows? They'll see mine and push it to the... That's how Survivor works, though. Let me give you a little insider on that. When I was in Fort Smith, Arkansas, Natalie White won Survivor, and she was from there. So I had her in the studio, and then her boyfriend at the time, his name was Justin, he came in, and Justin started managing the survivors because after you're on Survivor, then you can go around, and if you get a couple of other cast members that were on there, you can go to casinos. And I met Richard Hatch at a baseball game in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Actually, I think it was Rogers. But anyway, he was throwing out the first pitch. So I went there and we got to kick it up in the suite with Richard Hatch. He was all right. He called my mom and she didn't answer. So it was her birthday. I was like, will you call my mom? She loved it. And she did. She loves Richard Hatch. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, give me the phone. And of course, her voicemail was full, so he couldn't even leave a message. I'm like, yeah. But so he wrote on the autograph, tried to call you, Sandy, but you wouldn't answer.
That's funny.
So he signed it. But anyway, so they go around, they do these things, and they get paid money. So Justin started managing these guys, and he had told me that Natalie was originally trying to get on Big Brother. And that's what she wanted to do, was Big Brother. And then CBS came at her and was like, well, hey, look, we really want to get... I mean, she was attractive, let's just say. I'm not going to call her hot right in front of you. That's stupid. But, she had... Whatever. And so it was CBS's way to, it was just push it through all the paperwork. So it has really nothing to do with if you send it in. They just look around and go, okay, where can we pull from? And they did the same thing with Caleb, I think, who was the guy who they actually put on Big Brother, but he really wanted to be on Survivor. So after Big Brother, which he didn't win, he's like, well, let me back on Survivor then. So then they threw him on Survivor. I think because a lot of stuff they get sucks. Because there's just a lot of people that suck. That just, I don't know. But it's not CBS's fault. It's my fault for not sending it in sooner.
I see.
Yeah, and I told my sister, too, that if I send one in, she has to send one in. And she said, okay. So I'm going to hold her to it.
Good.
Because she actually probably could have won Survivor. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And see, and you're going to be part of the video, too. But I only get a 3-minute video, so it'll be just some quick questions. But Kylie doesn't think I'd do very well. She said, well, there's many reasons. Did you want to name a couple why I wouldn't do well on Survivor?
I don't know. You'd probably get fired first.
Fired?
For saying the wrong thing to the wrong people. They'd be like, no, we can't have this guy. We thought we could, but no, it's not going to work out.
Oh, you mean they wouldn't have me on there?
No, whatever preliminary
I wouldn't make it through
that you made, the first gates, they'd be like, yeah, this guy's got an attitude.
Well, they might like that.
Maybe.
Okay,
yeah.
so say I make it through the process and I'm on the show. I'm out on the island. What are some problems Corey might have?
You probably lash out at the people and call them stupid.
Man,
No.
Yeah, you would.
Because I think that being an addict, I have an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Just kind of read people, tell them what I want to hear so I get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kylie...
Being manipulative, you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Kylie, my sister, had a lot more. She's like, well, you don't like water. You're afraid of fish.
You don't like sand.
You don't eat fish. You don't like being hot.
You don't like being dirty.
Nope. I'm not a big fan of bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's not.
exercise, running around.
You'd be like, ibuprofen.
Yeah. I won't tell him about my back problem.
But you know what? Why not? Go ahead. I would like to see your video.
It would be fun. I'd make the show entertaining.
Aren't you gone for like a long time?
No, 90 days or something.
That's a long time.
Not really. No, it's only 30 days actually, or 60 days. 30. I don't remember, something like that. I get all skinny. That's what happened to Russell. Russell, we hung out a few times in Fort Smith. I actually went out drinking with him back when I was in my hot mess days. And Russell was pretty much a hot mess too. He asked if he could stay at my house. And I was like, nope. My little brother was like, did he just ask you if he could stay at your house? I was like, yep. He was like, you told him no? I was like, yep. I don't want that man being up in here being freaky with some chicks. Time for that. There's nothing worse than when you wake up the next day and there's like people at your house and you're like, go home, get out. What are you even doing here? And what happened? Why are you on my couch?
You're asking them what happened.
Yeah, like, yeah, I hated that. It didn't happen often though, but because I didn't like company. As a hermit, just me and the alcohol. What a sad life that was.
I know. It's depressing.
Like, that's what I would live for. Get off work, go home, have a bottle or two, and just lock myself in for the weekend. I thought that was fun. I thought that was, and I don't know if it was fun, but I knew that I wouldn't have to withdraw. Maybe that's what I was, but I didn't really think of it like that at the time, because I could start drinking Friday when I got off work and just continue right into the next morning, wake up, start drinking. So I never went through the withdrawals until about Sunday night. So I'm like, well, I got to stop at some point because I got to work tomorrow. And then Mondays were bad.
See, that just sounds like so unappealing.
Oh, but I didn't know that there was a way out of it.
Lots of times we don't. That's why we stay where we're at. We don't know how to fix it.
I didn't know. Well, I knew that I had a problem, but I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't want anybody to call me alcoholic. Because like I've mentioned many times on the podcast, that is somebody who beats their wives and kids and just a bad person. That's what I was told alcoholic was, And so then in my mind, I just like, I'm not that guy. I'm not that. I don't do that. So it's not me. I don't have a problem. But I do, but I don't. It was really weird back and forth. I think if I would have known that there was really help and that life was so much better without it, but that's another thing about addiction is with alcohol, at least I can speak on, it grabs you, man, and it changes the way you think. And so somebody might tell you, hey, your life can get so much better. Yeah, okay, man, whatever. Your brain is still protecting the alcohol. Like, no, man, you're never going to say goodbye to it.
Yeah, because for the longest time, you hear those words, but that's just all they are to you, is just words. They're not actually like concepts of something that there's truth to. And that's really sad. But I can tell you, I've had things said like that to me, all inspirational things said to me millions of times over. And if you're not ready to hear it, then it just goes in one ear, out the other. But I can say that I never actually, like, I could hear the words and I'd acknowledge it, but I just wasn't ready yet. But hearing those over and over and over and experiencing, you know what I mean, going through everything that I had to go through, eventually it was like, things got to change. Things have got to change because, there's not all these people from all these different angles of my life telling me I need to do something about what's going on with me. And it's because they care. It's not because they're nagging you. It's not because they're trying to put you down, even though it feels that way, But when you come from a spot where, I was ashamed of yesterday. I was afraid of tomorrow, and I hated where I was today. So I'd drink again. And the next day it was the same. I was ashamed yesterday. I was afraid of tomorrow, and I hated today. And it just round and round I went and just took over.
And you went through the legal system as well. See, for me, that was something, having actually something that I was being held accountable for. And I've heard people say this to me, I just need to be held accountable. I just need to be held accountable. I should start telling those people, okay, don't drive your car, but just get in your car, put the keys in the ignition. I'll be right back. And then just call the cops and have them come. Like, now you're going to be accountable, buddy. Because for me, and there are programs that keep people out of jail. Now, jail itself didn't teach me anything. It was a waste of time, in my opinion. But having those consequences, though, I think are still a huge part. So if somebody does, get pulled over for a drunk driving, or they get found with drugs on them, then yeah, there should be consequences to that. There should be somebody that's going to hold them accountable. But I don't think just throwing them in jail is the way to do it. Like, I was told I had to go listen to whatever Riverwood and Benton Harbor said I had to do, which was, a long-term program, which was something that I needed. Mm-hmm. So that was good. I think, but again, everybody's different. Some people are at different stages. I had been trying to quit for 2-3 years, so it wasn't like my first time, which it takes time. Mm-hmm. You've been through it. You did the program, and you really didn't do it for yourself.
Right. You
just did it to be done with them. And
yeah, my legal file, I don't want to call it sober because of the legal system, but I was accountable to the legal system for a period of time, and I learned a lot during that time. I learned a lot about AA. I learned a lot about NA, and I knew what I needed to do. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready yet. Like, I was too young, and I was too naive about the fact that things could actually change and be better. And I thought that I wasn't as bad as other people. I wasn't that bad. I just was bad enough that I got caught. And that's why. It's not really about me and my lifestyle. It's just about I made poor decisions, which is true. But, I'm an alcoholic, and I was an alcoholic then, and I just didn't want to acknowledge it like that in that frame.
When you hear the term alcoholic, like, what do you think of?
Oh, just like everybody else. I mean, I think of it as this, I guess bum would be the first word out of my mouth, because you think of like homeless, everything's gone, dirty, no job, no family, living under a bridge.
But your dad was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So when did you know he was an alcoholic? And how did you put that together with him not being a bum and sleeping under a bridge?
No, I'm just saying, if you say originally what you'd say when you think of alcoholic, that's like the first go-to picturesque, is like the extreme stereotype. That's not necessary. I mean, brown paper bag, whatever, that kind of deal. Mm. But no, alcoholics are everyone and anyone in this world. There's alcoholic politicians and alcoholic lawyers and alcoholic dentists and, alcoholic
massage therapists,
soccer moms. I don't know. There's all, they're everywhere. And there's it does not discriminate. And we say that a lot because it's true, and there are different, there can be people that are functional alcoholics. That's kind of, I think, what threw me off a lot. And I don't want to say it worked against me, but my dad was a successful businessman, and he was a family man, and he did not, ever lay a hand on any of us. And he was smart, and, he spent time with us. And, we vacationed, and I was very blessed. I had a very, very good childhood. And I saw his disease progress throughout my life. And he had periods of sobriety that I don't really recall, that my mom tells me about after the fact. When I was a toddler, what have you. But, it just, for him, it got worse and worse and worse until he just was done. And he didn't do the rehab or I guess he went to some outpatient, treatment. And other than that, he just had made the decision. And really at the end of the day, that's what it boils down for all of us. And there's other things that go into it, into us making that decision and coming to recognize that decision that we make about us and what we want in our lives. But once you have to be the one that chooses, I'm not going to live like this anymore. And it's that one little sentence that makes your whole world change. And if you stick to that, I'm not going to live like this anymore. Next thing you know, things are better.
That's a start. Yeah, that's where you start. And they do get better every day. Mm-hmm. Every day that you don't use, things will get better. So you and I, though, had two different views of what an alcoholic was. I grew up in a family that didn't drink. I didn't see any of that. So maybe it would have been a little bit different if I'm not saying that I wanted a parent or somebody like that had a drinking problem, but it's just, I don't know. Like I always heard it, that's John. He's such a bad alcoholic. And of course my mom don't talk that way, but I'm just saying, that's what I would hear, and it's just like, oh, stay away from that guy. He's going to beat you. Mm-hmm. That's what I would think, like, oh, that guy's a bad person. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But so I thought maybe that you just choose to be that way, or maybe you're just a bad person and the drinking comes with it. Like, I don't know. Like, it's weird.
I don't know, but there's there has to be some scientific truth that, what's the part of your brain that's anger?
What's it called?
Pituitary?
I was thinking the pituitary gland.
Anyway, I don't know. There's something that has to do. There's got to be a correlation between intoxication or inebriation and violence and anger, or whatever part of your brain. There's got to be. I mean, I even know that I would get angry, more angry than I ever thought I had in me when I was drinking. And, I don't know, but we should Google that at some point. Don't look at your phone like we're going to do it right now.
I don't even know where my phone's at. I've been missing my phone for about an hour, I think.
That's the record.
I'm always without my phone. Anyway, Tyrone, we're going to visit him today. He's going to stay with us for a couple of days. That's sweet. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have our intros redone. We're going to have all kinds of cool stuff added.
Yeah. We just need to have him in here for like a couple hours and just tape the whole thing and then be able to pick out funny stuff that he says.
I'll have him sit over there and we'll just kick it and I'll just record the whole thing. And yeah. That'll be funny. It'll be good, though. It'll be nice to see him again.
He's going to say something like, I like this chair. That's what he's going to tell. Damn. Mark my words. He's going to say that. Okay, he's going to say something about how he likes the chair.
Well, how was your black accent again?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to do it again. But no, that's what he's going to do. And
damn, Mr. Winfield. Damn, Corey. Damn. It's a win-win situation. That's what he keeps telling me.
I know. That's his line.
Yeah. Because my last name is Winfield. Mm-hmm. And then your last name is not Winfield. That's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
That's all I kept saying to me. It's a win-win. Look at you. You in a win-win situation. But we'll talk to him, though. And it'll be fun. It'll be good. Mm-hmm. Can't wait to see him. But yeah, he'll say something probably about the chair in the studio, because this is something that he heard me talk about. It was like, hey, I want to have this kick-ass studio, and this is what I'm going to do, and the people that would be rolling their eyes like, okay, dude, how about you do that? You're doing it in the bedroom right now on a bed. You know, like three dudes.
I know. I sat in on one of them once, and it was absolutely hilarious. I'm like, this is not what you would think. I mean, you got one guy who's like sitting like pose style, like hand on his, on his fist.
Just didn't even
laying
want to
on
be
bed.
there. Just a little effort.
Playing Candy Crush on his phone or some shit. Oops, stuff. Whatever.
And then Chris would always...
In like a swivel chair. Like holding his microphone with like cords out all over the place.
Chris be in his robe.
Yeah.
Sunglasses on. It's
He's
dark.
chewing candy. They'd be taking bathroom breaks. I just remember that, and you'd be like, "Oh, he's not here right now."
That's what it was. And
but look how far you've come.
yeah, helpful God. I didn't do any of this. God did it all. Just needed a little nudging.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, thank you for listening to the 217 Recovery podcast. Hopefully, we hit on some stuff that made sense to you, or can maybe have you pass something along that somebody else is going through that kind of same situation too. So that's what we try to do. Mm-hmm. Have a good Easter.
Yes, everyone have a wonderful Easter.
And stay sober. See ya.
Bye.